Welcome to another edition of my podcast on Hydrogeek. Here I am trying to uh, discuss about some very important topic regarding water conservation. Sorry. So today we will discuss about weather monitoring by drones, especially for arid regions. Now, as we know that drones and unmanned aerial vehicles are nowadays widely utilized to monitor lots of parameters. If those same vehicles can be utilized to monitor weather, then it is found that it is very cost effective and it can be conducted easily, and there are specific advantages like in one single measurement you can measure the weather parameters of different layers of the atmosphere. If you if you uh, if you fly a drone into the top of the atmosphere and suspend the sensors below it at different depth, then what happens? Those sensors will be able to collect the data from different layers of atmosphere. Now, these things are extremely useful when you try to monitor weather of arid regions. Why it is useful? Because in arid regions there is a lack of moisture, and this lack of moisture or dryness often uh, disturbs the measuring efficiency of the weather monitoring instruments. Say, for example, if you are using a rail gauge and if you are keeping it in a very arid region where uh, very uh, very few amount of rainfall occurs, and that also during a very small time of the year. That means most of the time this rail gauge will be unutilized, but it will be kept under the open sky, and due to the scorching heat and dry air, those items often get damaged. Okay, and then it starts to produce incorrect measurements when it is required to provide the data. Suppose suddenly some amount of rainfall takes place, and if your instrument is not okay, not working properly, then it will give erroneous result. So the entire uh, investment on that instrument becomes wasted. So that is why measuring weather in arid regions are very difficult. So if you are using drones, that means uh, you are flying it in the atmosphere. So the impact of aridity is not as much as it is when the instrument is placed in the ground. Okay, and you are flying the drones. That means you are not. The instruments are not stagnant in one position. Once the rainfall takes place, then and there you can fly a drone and take the measurement of rainfall. Or if there is a drop in temperature, you fly a drone with a temperature sensor, it will detect the drop of temperature. And there you can suspend the drone at a flying stage at a hovering stage, and your sensor can continuously record the change in temperature or change in humidity or change in wind speed. So drone is a very good option for measuring weather parameters in arid regions. Now monitoring the rainfall is required if you are planning to install a rainwater harvesting pond. And in arid regions, we try to store or conserve water in rainwater harvesting ponds. So these ponds are very useful or very uh, significant in case of arid regions compared to non-arid regions. So you have to be very careful about the selecting the locations where you will install the rainwater harvesting ponds. You cannot arbitrarily select the location. If you select a location where there is low rainfall in the entire region, then that and you create a rainwater harvesting pond in that location, that means you are wasting your investment. Neither water will be conserved, nor it can be utilized later on, nor it can store rainwater because there is no rain takes place. So beforehand, you have to be very careful. You have to do a pre-feasibility survey, and you have to point out where, what are the locations where rainfall is taking place, and not only where the rainfall is taking place. There is many other aspects for selecting a location where you can install a rainwater harvesting pond. But what my point of this discussion is that if you can monitor the rainfall at a real time with the help of these drones or unmanned aerial vehicles, then what will happen? You can easily identify what are the locations where rainfall is taking place, uh, although very small, but it is taking place there. It may be scarce, but if you are putting your rainwater storing structure on the location where the rainfall is maximum, right? Then you can store maximum amount of water. Because in case of arid region, say take the example of the Kutch desert in Rajasthan, India. You know, in the entire region of Kutch, the rainfall distribution is extremely irregular. Not all the places of Kutch receives rainfall. Some places receives rainfall, some places receives low rainfall. Okay, so you have to create the necessary infrastructure to store the rainfall at a place where the rainfall is really taking place, not arbitrarily selecting a location and constructing the rainwater harvesting pond because they will be useless. So that is why if you can monitor the rainfall and you can identify the location where rainfall is maximum, then you can construct a rainwater harvesting pond there, and you can be assured that it will be utilized properly. Okay. Now, currently, there are many different types of drones or unmanned aerial vehicles which are used for monitoring weather. So today I will just discuss about those weather monitoring drones. The same drones can be used for monitoring weather in arid regions. Okay, so if you take these unmanned aerial vehicles, then I will discuss about 10 examples. Okay, first example is multi-rotor drone. They are quadruples, that means there are multiple blades with the help of which it flies, right? So there are multiple rotors, either six or eight, and there are various versions coming out day by day. So these multi-rotor drones, if you can fix sensor in the uh, in the belly of those drones, then you can monitor any parameter uh, in case of either in case of arid regions or in case of non-arid regions, because these multi-rotor drones have a capability of hovering. Hovering means just like hummingbird hovers around the flower from which it will suck its pollen. These drones can hover around a certain location in the atmosphere, right? So if it can hover, so it can measure the parameter for a long duration of time. Okay. Now there are single rotor drones also. They are just like helicopters. Okay. So they are developed just like helicopters. They have only one rotor, but there is no driver there. No one can sit inside the helicopter. They are small, right? And like they are around 2 feet length and only 1 feet or 6 inches width, and they have only one rotor, and they, with the help of that rotor, they can move vertically and also to and fro, but they cannot hover. Okay, they cannot hover. That is the disadvantage. So you can use this also because they are cheap. Multi-rotor drones are very costly, but single rotor drones are cheap. Now take the example of copter soldering. Now, copter soldering is already fixed with all the required sensors which are used for weather monitoring, different parameters it can monitor. You take temperature, yes. You take wind speed, yes. You take wind velocity, yes. You take humidity, yes. You take rainfall, yes. You take pressure, yes. So every sensor is fixed into this copter-like drone, and yes, the low can sit inside the copter because it's a very small. But these are the drones which are already or which have already the sensors fixed into it. That is why they are referred as copter sounding. Correct? Now there are also another version, small unmanned aerial vehicles. It is often known as uh, UAS. It is small UAS. Okay, they are also known like that. So, what do you mean by small UAS? Small UAS is small unmanned aerial system. So these are similar in nature. They are droll. They have multi rotors, but they are very small, not very big, not as big as the common multi rotor drones. And they can be used for specific parameters only. They cannot carry much load. Okay. So if you want to carry multiple sensors with yourself, you have another option. It is known as Grand Sky Air Micro Drones. Sorry, Grand Sky Air Micro Drones. They are they have eight fields, eight blades. So with eight blades means eight motors. With the help of eight motors, they fly. They can hover. They can move to and fro. They can move vertical. Everything is possible. They are developed by the Grand Sky uh, company. Okay, and there are some meteor drones. What are these meteor drones? These meteor drones are they are specifically made for measuring meteorological parameters. They are not made for other things. You cannot use them for other items, other objectives. You have to use them for measuring meteorological parameters. That means the weather parameters. You cannot measure other parameters, or you cannot use it for carrying items, okay, or capturing photos. You cannot do that. You can only do what? You can only measure the meteorological parameters. Correct? So, but they are more maneuverable, can resist sudden changes in wind. That means if wind speed changes suddenly, it can adjust itself. It can capture data vertically, okay, and they can take the what the meteorological parameters from inside a building or a structure. They have that capability. They can be used in urban environments. They can be used in harsh offshore environments. Okay, so they can be used in storm and hurricane-like incidents also. Okay, they are already well equipped. They can adjust according to the uncertainty, and they can continuously measure the parameters. But of course, they are very expensive. They are not cheap. Now, similarly, there is DR 2000 drone, which carries a algometer, and it can measure the parameter with the help of algometer. Okay, and they are mainly used by hobbyists, not by professionals. Rarely used by professionals. Okay, and it can measure only the wind speed up to 150 miles per hour, and it can detect a speed of zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5 millisecond. ठीक है, detectable speed. Okay, so it is suitable for light bridges, not suitable for hurricanes. I say that they are used by the hobbyist only. Okay, but these DR 2000s can be used for aerial surveys, that means capturing photo, and also weather monitoring. Both ways they can use. They are not specific for meteorological parameter. They are multi-user. You can do multiple things with the help of DR 2000. Most of the vloggers you see use this DR 2000, right? Whenever you see any drone shot, you can be rest assured 80% of time they are using DR 2000. Okay, next is drones equipped with LIDAR. LIDAR are the camera which can detect leaks in pipe even if these pipes are underground. They have special capability to penetrate the soil layer. Okay, so they actually detect features not with the help of light but with the help of ultraviolet rays, UV rays, or some uses solar rays also. Solar rays means auditory signals also. Okay, so they are very useful for taking the underground imageries. Yes, you can also detect the groundwater level with the help of this type of drones equipped with LIDAR. And they are now utilized for weather monitoring also. Okay, not only for the leak detection, but they are now utilized for drought management also. So how they are detecting that? Of course, they are detecting the rainfall also. They are detecting the leaks also, and a sustainable management plan is there, which is encoded in these roles, and it is performing accordingly. Uncrewed aircraft systems and unmanned aircraft systems are same. They are basically unmanned aerial vehicles, but the small UAS, the full form of UAS is uncrewed aircraft systems. That means no one is there in the aircraft, but it is a aircraft, very small. They have the weather sensing capability, and they are very reliable in measurement. They are also developed for measuring weather, right? And They are mainly used by national meteorological and hydrological services worldwide. Okay, so they are mainly used for those government organizations, those scientific organizations. And yes, so these are the 10 drones, 10 different types of drones that you can use for measuring weather. So let me recapitulate. First one is small unmanned meteorological observer. Oh, sorry, this SUBO I have not discussed, and remote controlled helicopter I have not discussed. Small unmanned meteorological observer is or SUBO is also developed for weather monitoring, and they can work 3,500 meters above ground, and they are approved for horizontal surveys up to 4 kilometers away from the launch site. Right? So they can take measurement 4 kilometers away from the launch site. Okay, and they can take measurement 3,500 meters above ground. Okay, but they can take measure of weather parameters only. They are specifically developed for measuring temperature, humidity, and pressure. Okay, these are small unmanned meteorological observer. They are known as SUMO. And the same thing is remote control helicopter. They are simple RC helicopters you can find in the market. Only thing is that they have been fixed with a gyro compass, GPS, laser range finder, digital camera, and thermometer. All these sensors are fixed, and the signals are fed into the computers located in the ground, and that computer has a software, and that software extract the signals and analyzes the signal, right? So these are also used for weather monitoring as well as many other purposes. Okay, and meteor drones I have already discussed. DR 2000 I have already discussed. Drones equipped with leader discussed. Grand sky air micro drones, small UAS, uncrewed aircraft systems, copters all day, multi-rotor UAV, single rotor drones. Okay, so in total there are 10 different drones which can be used for monitoring weather. So with this, I will finish my lecture. And you think about this whether drones can be used for weather monitoring in case of arid regions also, such that we can specifically know in which locations rainfall is maximum. Thank you. I'll see you again. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to Hydro Geek. Thank you. Good night.